it's time to give the rookies some love, and that's exactly what we're going to do on today's Warriors Today episode. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and of course, Brandin Podziemski could possibly be him. I'm not talking about taking over Steph Curry or anything like that, but I'm talking about the Warriors' future, because he does give me very Steph Curry vibes in a sense, but overall, he cracked the starting five. I think he deserves it. I think that unlocked a new Klay Thompson. Possibly the sixth man is his bread and butter. But could Brandin Podziemski become Steph Curry's new right-hand man? That's what we're going to talk about on today's show. But first, for anything and everything about the Golden State Warriors, you're going to find it right here. No more typing in numerous things to find one topic on the Golden State Warriors. No, you got it all right here, one-stop shop, Warriors Today by Chat Sports. So go on ahead and hit that sub button for me. And now I know giving praise to a rookie seems a little outlandish. He could obviously flop the next couple of years. He's still progressing. He's still trying to figure out where he fits in the NBA. So take it from Steve Kerr, who literally said Brandin Podziemski is one of our best players. And that's a very, very high remark from somebody like Steve Kerr. So I do want to talk about his career stats just for a minute here, because when you look at his stats, you're probably thinking, Allie, these stats don't show me anything that he could be Steph Curry's number two. But just give him time. But I want to talk about how great he is off the box score, because 10 points per game is phenomenal for a rookie, by the way. 6 rebounds is unheard of for a guard. And the fact that he's shooting 47% from the field and 39% from a three-point line is also incredible. But let's break down some of his advanced stats, shall we? How does he compare in the league, I should say? Did you know he's first in the NBA in charges drawn? That shows aggression. That shows confidence above all else, to be going up against veterans who are in the league as a rookie in catching those charges. Number 2, he's in the top 10 in reboundings for all NBA guards with 5.8. I think he's probably the 9th or 10th guard in that statistic, but nonetheless, like I said, unheard of to have a guard, nonetheless a rookie, to be crashing the board every single play. And he's also second on the Warriors in loose balls recovered. I love the scrappiness that he brings every single play. He gives me defensive mindset like Gary Payton, but an offensive mindset like Steph Curry. It's kind of like putting those two together. Maybe he's not as good as the tunnel shots as Steph Curry is, but he definitely has the drive that those two players do. And I want to talk about this too, because not only is he producing on the box score for the Golden State Warriors, he's becoming a voice. He's learned from Draymond Green how to be a leader. He's learned from Steph Curry how to be a presence in the media. And something that really stood out to me is that the Warriors are on a hot streak right now, despite losing by 5 to the Clippers. And that's okay. The Clippers are ranked top 3 of the Western Conference right now after they lost to the Clippers, with Brandin Podziemski being the second leading scorer in that game. He sat down in front of the media and said he was disappointed about the defense, as the Warriors have rightfully struggled on the defensive front. And he said, everyone just needs to buy in. Listen to the rookie, man. He's sounding like a vet. And there's a reason for that. And I do want to talk about that more towards the back half of this show. But I think it's just so cool to see a rookie be a leader on the team. And especially the Warriors. I mean, they've got veterans on top of veterans. Steve Kerr has designed the system that way. And for Brandin Podziemski to slide on his way in, not just making a name for himself known in the Bay Area, but making a name for himself in the NBA. Because look, the Warriors may call him a rookie, but the NBA is calling him a rising star. Quite literally a rising star, as he did play in the Rising Stars game this past weekend for the NBA. And it's just great to see Brandin Podziemski getting the light that he deserves. This shot was actually taken after he made a half-court shot during the warm-ups. I mean, I guess he truly is learning how to be Steph Curry at this point, but I think it's time to show him some love first and foremost. Before I break down what Podziemski has done that's so significant to the Golden State Warriors, go ahead and comment number 2 down below. Show him some love. That's his number. I just want to spam the number 2, and if he ever, after the All-Star break and he has some time to relax and scrolling on YouTube looking at videos, finds Warriors Today by Chat Sports, I hope he sees how much love he has, because he's going to have a good career. I can just feel it in my bones, and he wants to be something in his career. He did say in an interview recently, a lot of times I see people say, I want to be a great role player in the NBA, but I want to be an all-star. I want to be a Hall of Fame player. And for me, I think I have that right in front of my face every day. It just makes sense to take advantage of that. Podziemski was designed to thrive under a head coach like Steve Kerr. And I'm going to break that down more in the second half of this show, but you got to think about how much offensive talent the Warriors have had in the past decade. Podziemski being drafted to the Warriors was the best thing that could ever happen for Brandin Podziemski, and I'm glad to see he's getting some recognition. Like I said, I got a lot more to unpack about why this is important to have him on the Warriors for the near future coming up in just a moment, because he could possibly be changing a long-time NBA head coach's mind, which is pretty intense. But before any of that happens, you guys have got to be playing Prize Picks. If you're not, let me tell you why, because this is the most fun and the easiest daily fantasy sports app that you are going to play. And what's super great is that if you guys are done with NBA All-Star stuff, you guys are just kind of tired and ready to start the season over again, well, Prize Picks has already got you covered. They already have their picks up for the second half of the NBA season, and they have a 99% off pick right now on the Joker. They do have him having more than 9.5 30-plus points games in the second half of the season. They cut that down 99%. If the Joker scores over 30 once, you win. I did Jaylen Brown as well. I think that could be a pretty interesting pick, knowing that there are multiple scorers on that team. So I have him having more than 4.5 30-plus points games in the second half of the season. But it's not just NBA. It's got NFL, MLB, NHL, numerous sports categories. So all you guys have to do to get started is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100, and you get to watch yourself win some real money in real time. Brandin Podziemski coming to the Golden State Warriors. Personally, I think anybody who gets to come to the Warriors as a rookie has hit the lottery. Why? Because you have some of the best veterans left in the NBA to learn from. Can you imagine having the trio of Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry guiding you to start your career? Not to mention the former point guard, Chris Paul, who's now on this team as well. I mean, you've got the layout. You've got the map to be successful in this career, as all four of those players have done. Not to mention a coach like Steve Kerr, a player-turned-coach, is some of the best coaching you can get in the NBA. And when Brandin Podziemski was asked before his Rising Stars game at Indianapolis, an NBA All-Star Weekend, he had nothing but amazing things to say about his teammate-turned-brother, saying he's the best point guard to ever play. And me playing that position, I want to get into a similar level that he is. To have that with me 24/7 is something special. So just learning from him and taking something I can apply in the future, that's all he's trying to do. Make a name for himself. And I truly think he's changing minds. Steve Kerr has been known, he said this beginning of this season, the rookies know when they come into the organization, you guys sit on the bench and earn your time, because the veterans know how to get it done. Could veteran ball be over with Steve Kerr? Because you got to think about it. Jonathan Kuminga's 21. Podziemski's not even legal to have a drink yet, and he's in the starting lineup of the Golden State Warriors. I mean, never in my life did I think I would see two young kids starting in a lineup with no injuries, other than Chris Paul, in a Steve Kerr lineup. Could this be the future of Golden State Warriors? Because how did Podziemski even change the mind of Steve Kerr? Because they've had young guys come through before, Jordan Poole being one of them. Well, look where Jordan Poole is now. It didn't work out in Golden State. So why Podziemski? Why is he making a difference in Golden State? I truly believe it starts with this game. I'm pretty sure you guys all remember this game. This was when Draymond Green put Mr. Rudy Gobert in a headlock and got thrown out of the game along with Klay Thompson. Brandin Podziemski had a next man up mentality. He is a dog. And in dog fashion, dropped 24.7 rebounds, 5 assists, and went 50% from the field and didn't miss a blink. He was on it. And that's what you had to do to be a player in the starting lineup for the Golden State Warriors. After that, Steve Kerr was hooked. He said, this kid's going to be something special. And he's not wrong. Because rookies come and go, man, every single year. But did you know Brandin Podziemski is third among all rookies in assists, fifth in rebounds, and ninth in scoring, and he's an NBA rising star? I'm super glad he's getting the recognition in the Bay Area, but I'm even more glad the NBA is seeing the Golden State Warriors might have gotten a steal last year in the draft, and I'm only this close away to seeing how dominant he can be along with Trayce Jackson-Davis and Jonathan Kuminga in the next couple of years. But there will be some barriers to jump over, even this year. CP3 is to be reevaluated in 10 days. If you guys don't remember, he did get hand surgery back in January that required numerous bolts and nuts to be put into his hand. So it's going to take a little while for it to recover. However, CP3 is a point guard and one of the best to ever do it that's currently still in the league. So I do think it's going to be tough that when Chris Paul comes in, what does that mean for Brandin Podziemski's numbers? His minutes, I should say. BP's court vision and his basketball IQ is undefeated right now. He brings youth. He brings scrappiness. He brings energy. He brings hustle to the Golden State Warriors. And while this is no disrespect to Chris Paul, I don't think Chris Paul should be taking away any minutes from Brandin Podziemski. I think, if anything, Chris Paul should be coming in as a backup for Brandin Podziemski in the second rotation. And that's with all due respect. I think Brandin Podziemski could be the real deal and could truly be the missing piece the Golden State Warriors need this season. So, with Chris Paul on the brink of returning, what do you guys say? Pick a player to play more. Type BP for Brandin Podziemski. Type CP for Chris Paul. And while you guys are doing that down below, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for me. If anything does happen when Chris Paul makes his return or Brandin Podziemski goes off for a 60-piece, you guys know we're going to report about it right here. So all you guys have to do is hit that sub button for me.